Hey, while you're sitting in the truck, smash that subscribe button for me. Come on. How do you get a good deal and a bad deal rolled into one? Look, I got you in the passenger seat of my truck. Brought you along for this one here. Check it out. Vacant land deal, single lot, 50 by 100, cheap lot, easy one to get into. If you were just starting out, or if I was just starting out, or somebody was just starting out, doesn't have a lot of money, wants to get in on a small deal that still could be profitable, this is perfect for that. You know, it's a 50 by 100 lot, single lot, got a lot of good things going on. The owner was offering owner financing on it. That's the bad deal part of this. The good deal part of this was got it cheap, lots of room for potential profit on this one. And not that owner financing in general is horrible, the worst thing in the world, but just on this particular deal it was. Check out the whole video. I'll go over all that, explain some of the owner financing pros, cons, stuff like that. But, you know, here it is, folks. Easy deal. $5,000 purchase price, list price on the MLS, probably about $12,500. So room in there. This one also did have a lien on it that I'm not going to say nothing about the owner and what he did or didn't do or nothing like that, but I knew about the lien before he knew about the lien. And then he said, well, let's not get into all that, but there's a lien on it before I bought it. There's a lien on it after I bought it. Just a few $100, so no big deal on necessarily because I worked it into the deal, but you always need to check out for liens. If they're a motivated seller, it's a very, very high possibility in my experience and what I've seen in deals that I've done that there's some sort of a lien on there, whether it's taxes or HOA. This was a HOA lien on this one. There could be various other liens and stuff like that. So do some research on liens in general. Go through a title company if you can. Make sure you get a clear title to the property, or if you're not going to get a clear title, well, that's up to you. At least know what you're getting into. If you're not going to get a clear title, check out the lot, check out the deal. I don't know if you can call it waterfront property with all that water in that drainage ditch, but that's the back of the property. And this is it, y'all. This is a 50-foot wide by 100-foot deep lot. This is what we're getting into. Small money deals, cheap deals, but you can see it's got a couple little mesquite trees, some grass, you know, nothing fancy. Just a nice flat level lot, and back behind it over there is that's one big agricultural property, one ranch property. So the nice thing is you don't have to worry about, you know, a house behind you or a bunch of neighbors behind you or something like that. So that's one of the appealing things. And back over there is the bayfront, and there's a fishing pier down there and stuff. So we got some survey markers from an old survey, it looks like, on the property. There's a little one there. And then you got that one there at the corner. It's been there for a while. Then there's the property line down there. So we'll just walk along the property, but you can see, I mean, no neighbors behind you, really no neighbors to the side. Everybody's pretty spread out here, so it gives you a little bit of room. But down that road, there's the bay, and there's a fishing pier there. So, you know, in this community here, you can ride around golf carts, a lot of new construction going on. All these houses are, you know, just a couple years old, if that, you know, so that's nice for somebody wanting to come in here. You know, the houses are new. There's not a whole lot of neighbors real close by. I think that's some debris from hurricane that came through a couple years ago and just never got cleaned up. So this is a lot, you know. Okay, so here's the math. Here it is. Owner finance, pay cash, or don't even do the deal at all. So this is the math that I use to kind of calculate, kind of look at this. This is just the math portion. So this is the owner finance side of it, and the green here is the cash money deal. This is what I ended up doing. I ended up doing the deal, and I did it cash on the cash side. But let's go over why I didn't use the owner finance side. Okay, so the way this was offered to me was $5,000 for this small piece of property for sale by owner, or $6,000 purchase price owner finance. So about $1,000 to do the owner finance, 20%, if you want to call that interest. You know, they just raised the price $1,000 on a small deal like that. I mean, 20% sounds like a lot. $1,000 on a small deal, you know, I guess it makes sense from the seller's perspective. $1,000, that's kind of, you know, I would call that fair or whatever for easy financing. No credit check, no nothing, just, hey, here's the deal, you know, and that's it. So wasn't like too bad, you know. If 20% on like a $200,000 deal, that's like, you know, okay, yeah. And this was a simple, you know, like hey, it's not going to compound. I think you just want to do it for like a year anyway. So that's what that broke down to. So if I would have done it $6,000 owner finance, I could relist this property for $12,500 on the MLS to a retail buyer. Closing costs, I figured about $1,000. There was a lien on the property. It was like $900, $800, but we'll just say $1,000 for good round numbers. So I knew there was a lien. Negotiate, maybe that gives me some wiggle room, $1,000 to negotiate the price down or whatever. So 12.5 minus $3,000, $9,500 would be in my pocket afterwards. So purchase price $6,000 minus the selling price, or from the selling price of $9,500, leaves me with a $3,500 profit. And on this, remember, I only put $1,000 into the deal to buy the property. So it would have been a $3,500 profit divided by 1,000. Gives you a 350% return on investment, or cash on cash return. So 350% return on investment, that's not bad, and this is a small deal, so it's nice to be able to show it like this. But so 350% ROI, total dollar return would have been $3,500. So if you're looking for like a deal where you didn't have to put a lot of money in, or a small money deal, or a little money down, or something like this, a deal like this would be perfect. $1,000, you put in 1,000, you'll get $3,500 return on your investment, so you'll get $3,500. Not too bad at all. So if you didn't need the owner financing though, this is what I ended up going with. It's a $5,000 cash price. Remember, it was only $6,000 if you used the owner finance, so they raised it. So on this one, cash price $5,000. Could relist it for $12,500. None of these numbers really changed. Closing costs about $1,000. The lien that was existing on the property, I would put $1,000 for that, and $1,000 worth of negotiating room on that. So 12.5 minus the 3,000 leaves you with $9,500. Purchase it for $5,000 in this case, so a total of $4,500 cash money profit. Initial investment was $5,000. So the return on that investment is a 90% return, just because we put more cash in the deal to begin with. 90% return on investment, still not a bad deal at all. And total dollar returns is $4,500. So, I didn't need the owner financing. And after talking with the individual that was selling it, I didn't want to use their owner financing. They were unorganized. It just didn't make, sometimes you just get that feeling like this is going to be more trouble than it's worth, and I had a little bit of the cash there that I just needed to put to work. So I just went ahead and bought it cash. So I made another, instead of spending $1,000 on interest or whatever his owner financing price, I just went ahead and put that return back into my pocket. And I haven't sold this deal or anything like that. I'm just getting it listed now. We bought it. So total return $4,500 versus the $3,500 total return. So this one has a bigger return on investment, 350% on your cash, because you only put 1,000 in. This one's 90% because we put the full 5,000 in there. But as far as dollars in the end, $4,500. I'll have my cash tied up for however long it takes to sell the property. But that's pretty much it. So that's the difference between owner financing. This is the simple math on that, and this is the simple math on the cash deal part of it on this particular property. And this is a small, cheap property, but it gives us easy numbers to work with, and so that's what I was working with. And this is the math portion of how I figured out that the cash deal was a lot better for me than the owner finance deal, and kind of go from there. So let me know what you think on that. If you have any ideas, have any questions, that's the cash, that's the numbers, that's how it worked out for us.